All right, thanks for staying with us. Nollywood, Nigeria's film industry, is ranked third in the world after Hollywood and Bollywood.
Well, someone will say that's interesting. But the industry continues to churn out thousands of films every day. And despite the rise in production values and its already huge popularity globally, Nigeria's movie business is still often perceived as an industry of disposable, poorly shot, badly edited movies.
Ouch.
We continue to suffer in silence out of sheer loyalty to this nation.
And this is your best way to handle this.
This guy is a snitch. We shouldn't take any chances.
What am I to you?
I have no respect for you. My family. I am yet to see the family of yours that deserves the respect you bring. This is a high-profile operation.
Many of these movies are seen as not being up to standard based on either poor storylines and bad acting, but a lot of producers and directors are working towards making movies that can stand up par with international movies and also win awards.
Now, according to 76-year-old actor Taiwo Ajayi said, it's now the responsibility of Nollywood itself to raise its game in terms of knowledge, substance and quality of what we produce.
Meanwhile, yes, indeed, some of these movies with substance now make their debut at international film festivals and become commercially successful at the Nigerian box office. All right, we have joining us Shaibu Husseini, culture journalist and chairman selection committee AMA, that's the African Movie Academy Awards. Of course, that event took place only recently in Lagos. Now, let me bring you this quote by the New York Times. Nigeria lacks even a reliable supply of electricity, but it does contain a chaotic creative energy that has made it the world's most prolific producer of films. You would say that the Nigerian movie industry has really come a long way.
No, they've come a long way, and they have really tried. I mean, in fact, if you go back in history, you'll find out that even the name Nollywood came about because a journalist came to the country and was amazed at how we were producing films with budgets that could just pass for budget for welfare on a Hollywood set. And he was surprised that these guys could produce something from nothing. And that's where the NO in Nollywood came.
Not Hollywood.
No, nothing from something, you know, bringing out something. And that's where it's been amazing how they have tried to make something out. And I mean, like your report just said, there are people who are making efforts for us to move from just quantity, from producing quantity to quality. And we'll get there. I mean, we need to be up to speed with technology and so on. We need to build our capacity, like Madam Ajayi just said. We need to really up the game because film is film. Film has no country. Film has, I mean, once you do
the creative industry
is very open. There are global standards for filmmaking, there are global standards for broadcasting, there are global standards for fine arts, everything you do. So you don't say, oh, we are still struggling, oh, there's no NEPA, there's no this, no, I mean, you know, so we need to up our game if we want to play in the international space. And time for us to play in the international space indeed is now. All right.
Now, we see that a lot of this, in fact, from the development so far, some of the commendable achievements are all a product of personal effort from either the producer or the director. There doesn't seem to be a structure in the system.
Yes, you see, for so long we've been commenting on this, and the problem is that we have allowed this industry to be self-propelled, I mean by the practitioners themselves, and we have been complaining that there is no structure that can sustain the kind of growth that we have. It will interest you to know that over 25 years after Nollywood boomed, you know, we do not have a policy like a film policy, you know, that we say, okay, we are going to go into like co-production agreements with countries. We are going to go into, when you import equipment into the country, you are going to have a waiver. When you are coming to work with our practitioners in the country, you must make sure that we have at least 60% crew members to work with maybe 40% so that there can be transfer of knowledge. All these things are missing. You know, we need a policy. We need some kind of sustainable structure. Look at the distribution now. It's in Rambo. Piracy has not allowed people to make money from their art, you know. People work as elephants in Nollywood and eat like ants, you know, in Nollywood. I mean, there's so much that needs to be put in place for this industry to actually get out. Enough of, oh, we are the ones who build the industry. We are the ones who had to sell our cars, sell our houses to make films. By this time, we'll be thinking of funding structures. We shouldn't be talking about banks interested in Nollywood 25 years after. They should have been interested like 20 years back. We shouldn't.
And then AMA came in, and I'm wondering, what did AMA see, that's the African Movie Academy Awards, see to actually believe that Nollywood had something to offer in such a way that it began to, you know, bring recognition to these actors and actresses, and even bring Hollywood actors?
Well, 13 years ago, there was a gap in recognition and reward for African filmmakers. We were always looking up to the academies. And the academies had just one category for us, foreign language category. Our actors in Africa cannot compete in best acting, other categories, apart from the foreign language, which is just one. And so a woman, a significant woman of the arts, Peace Ayamosigwe, just thought that, no, we need to put up something that will confer some kind of recognition, some kind of status of, oh, I have achieved something, you know, for Africans and by Africans. And so she set up this body called first the African Film Academy, and then that academy was the one that gave birth to the African Movie Academy Awards. And 13 years ago, she started this journey of recognition, and AMA has become like our own answer to the academy, you know, and it's not just restricted to Nollywood films. If you see, like this very last edition, we had films from Senegal. In fact, the best film for this year was a Senegalese film. We had Malian film, Tunisian films. It has cut across Africa. The idea is to recognize the best talents that have come from Africa and those who are working in the diaspora. And I think we need so many reward systems, not just for film. We also need, like we now have like an Afrima doing for music. We're also hoping that we'll have something for the fine arts. We'll have something for theater across Africa. We need to begin to recognize the talents. If they are not making money, if they are not getting the bank alerts, at least they should get
they should get the mention.
I mean, they should get some kind of recognition, because there's so much it does for you. I mean, when you get the recognition, it opens doors for you. People begin to call to find out if an academy like AMA can give you best film or best actor,
there's something
then there's something about you. You know, it elevates
now
their practice.
there are arguments that the complaint against piracy is so huge, it's so loud, it's so wide, and all of that. But it is also said that it is the people, some of the people within the directors or producers and the system, they are the ones even involved in the piracy in the first place.
No, but of course you know that you cannot rule out that from every sector. But piracy has become very endemic, and that's because we have not taken steps to stem it. You cannot eliminate piracy. Even the United States, with all its superpowers, cannot eliminate piracy. Piracy, I mean, the act of taking something from someone and using it without taking permission is part of our daily life. Some people can do it, I mean, you know. So, but we needed to begin to tackle piracy, and it didn't start now. Even in the days of film, I mean, I remember the story of Baba Salah, the great Baba Salah, and how he got, you know, out of Lagos back to Ibadan because they pirated this film at that time. I think that we needed to put that structure down. And the best way to tackle piracy, if you ask me, and I like this move that was made by the Honorable Minister, getting to the Honorable Minister of Information. He met the Inspector General of Police, and that one has directed that there should be anti-piracy units across the country. So the police is involved. Because before now, if you see a pirated film and you go to report to a policeman, the man will tell you, piracy no be matter. Say the man is looking for small chop now.
To
allow him to do. But now it's a different ball game with this effort by Alhaji Lai Mohammed to get in that. But it shouldn't stop there. We should do, you know, this thing is about supply. We should get our distribution working right. If our distribution is working right, if I'm sure that I will get a quality film on the day it is released, I will not go and buy a pirated film. But because these things are not available, that's why. The other thing we need to do very quickly is to make sure that we put the punitive measure, we heighten the punitive measure. Presently now, if you pirate my film and I get you, we'll go to court. The court will give you 3 months judge 3 months in jail or ask you to pay 100,000 naira.
I
have been to a court where somebody was caught for pirating a film. Immediately he was given 100,000. He didn't even think that he should go to jail and then pay the 100,000 right there in court.
He brought out
he just went and paid the money and then was released. We need to do all that.
And you can, of course, you can't overemphasize the fact that the entertainment industry, like some have said, has done a lot more than what politics has done for Nigeria.
Exactly.
So it's something that really should be taken seriously.
No, government should take it seriously, and even the stakeholders themselves should take the industry seriously. It's a multi-billion naira industry.
A money spinner.
Yeah.
Well, Shaibu Hussaini, culture journalist and administrator, the chairman selection committee of AMA Awards. Thank you for coming on TVC Breakfast.
My pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.